Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good golly, Miss Molly. Welcome back to That 70s Rock Fan. I wanted to say a few words. I hesitate to call it a review because it's very difficult for me to review gigs because really I'm just sitting there enjoying the music or standing enjoying the music, and I don't tend to take notes, and I don't, whilst I might take a few photographs and a few very short clips, I'm not like some people who stand there and record the whole damn thing. I want to watch the gig. I want to take part in the gig and experience it. So I have put a few shorts up on the channel, just little clips of the bands. So check those out. But obviously some people film the whole damn thing. But the gig I'm talking about was Megadeth, Anthrax, and Exodus at the Rogers Centre. No, it's not. See, I got it wrong already. I think it's the Scotiabank Saddledome in Calgary. My apologies to Scotiabank. I'd never know else. They're either named after a telecom company or a bank these days. This was in Calgary, February 20th, 2026, for anyone stumbling across this years from now. And just wanted to say a few words about that gig. I tend not to get to too many gigs these days, be living out in the country. But this one was a must, given the three acts that were performing. I mean, two of whom could be regarded as two of the big four, Megadeth and Anthrax, two, massive headliners of their own, plus the added bonus of Exodus, another legendary thrash band. So this was like a thrash metal tour de force history lesson, having these three bands playing on one short Canadian tour, and a hits heavy set for each of them, or a well-known heavy hit set. So fabulous. Now, you may say, where's your tour merch, Brian? Well, the lineups for the merch stands were enormous. Even towards the end of the gig, they were enormous. I wasn't going to miss any of the bands. I didn't really want to stand there, so I'm going to get some merch online. I didn't really feel like standing for an hour to get a t-shirt, so no merch right now. This is a common problem I find at gigs these days. Can't get near the merch. Not enough stands. Not my favourite venue, the Saddledome. Been to a few hockey games there. I think it's the first gig I've ever been to there. Not my favourite. Not the greatest acoustics, I don't think, in there. And they're tearing it down. They're building a new hockey arena. It's kind of a weird layout in there with the mezzanine thing. I sat up in the nosebleeds pretty much. I would say it was about 85, 90% full, but there was a few spare seats here and there, so you could move to get a nice unobstructed vantage, and not that big that you couldn't really see what was going on, and you could probably hear it a little bit better further back, I find. But my days of the mosh pit are long gone. I did take a few photographs, which I'll throw up on the screen now. I'll just take a quick peek through them. There's Anthrax. And again, I don't spend a lot of time doing this, so people will have far better. And I always admire the roadies and the stage guys, that they have the three set lineup. Exodus at the front with the tightest in the backdrop, and then the second set with Anthrax. They've got slightly more stage room. Third set at Megadeth with much more room for their layout, but they all done extremely well. Exodus had a great, I love their backdrop. They had a great looking layout, even though obviously they had the least amount of space of the bands. And Exodus for me were a major plus. They were absolutely fantastic, aggressive, tight, only half a dozen tracks, of course, but then you're guaranteed you're going to get what was in effect a very select best of. Bonded by Blood, Blacklist, which was kick-ass phenomenal, tons of crowd interaction, the Toxic Waltz, Strike of the Beast, a lot of crowd interaction. The mosh pit was going crazy for this one. They even had the death wall. Very enthusiastic, raw energy and fun. the band really seemed like they were into it. Like they only had a few songs and they went for it. Can't wait to see them in a full headliner one of these days. And very, very interesting set. Loved that immensely, I have to say. So well done, Exodus. Um, and the lighting, to be fair, the lighting and the sound setup was pretty good for them as it was for all bands. They weren't skimping on that. Uh, some of the Megadeth pictures were came out nice and clearly there. Uh, nice stack of Marshalls there. Oh, there we go. Just show a few of these before we go on to talk about the rest of the music. Uh, you can see the vantage point, even up in the nosebleeds. It wasn't that bad. And a quick pre-gig look at from a different angle. I moved around a couple of times, and you can see the layout of the Saddledome. Anyone who's never seen it before, it's called the Saddledome for a reason. Look it up. You can see the curve on the roof. So next up were Anthrax, slightly longer set, obviously. Set lists I've got somewhere, but they probably had like a dozen songs, 10 to a dozen songs. Again, hits heavy, but they were, again, an absolute standout. They were tight, they were fast, they were aggressive, they sounded brilliant. Particularly the drumming came across fantastically. Many people, I suspect, would rate them the highest of the night. Very explosive, but precise. A lot of raw energy. Sounded great, as I say. Stole it for many people, I would imagine. They did play. I'm just going to check out the set list. I did make some notes. Let's check the set list out for Anthrax. So, okay, Got the Time. I noted was a which always amazes me as a Joe Jackson song. I love Joe Jackson, nothing wrong with him. It was a real standlight. I Am the Law, I absolutely adored. That came across brilliantly. Antisocial was also fantastic. I mean, there wasn't a bad one. And they played a little bit of a snippet of a new song towards the end. I'd say about 20 seconds worth. Intro riff, a nice heavy riff of a new track, no vocal. But that's the first time they've played this particular song. So new material taking shape as they tour. And it was nice to hear something a nice little bit new there. And as I say, well, probably I was forced to pick I Am the Law. It's probably my favourite of their set on the night. And then on to the Anthrax, one of the big guys. So great to see them on this. Really was great value tour when you consider the tickets, if you were up in the second tier, were probably only about 50, 60 bucks Canadian. You're getting a fabulous 3-band lineup. Total value for money. In this day and age, where certain acts are charging hundreds of dollars, if not more, for that kind of ticket for one act. Kudos to the bands for doing that. Absolutely. This is a great Canadian tour these three are doing. I really appreciate it. Then on to Megadeth, fresh off the new album, the last album, although it seems like there'll be quite a substantial bit of world touring going on, kicking off for this Canadian tour. There was an awful lot of, I mean, again, it hits heavy set, although 3 tracks from the new album, which I appreciate because I do like it. Particularly, I would say, Let There Be Shred. The open with Tipping Point, which is good. Let There Be Shred was fantastic. Again, there's a lot of material here that if you wanted to see them ever, you're going to be very pleased because it's a well-known hits heavy set. And Dave has had his problems obviously with the throat problems and whatever, so he struggles valiantly. Obviously, the vocals he has to protect his voice very heavily, so the vocals are probably subdued to say the least. But that's very understandable. But his stage presence is still great, and what little banter he did in between, especially for "I Don't Care," was pretty funny. He's a sardonic guy, if I could put it that way. So strong, very professional, some killer stuff. I hesitate to say slick, but it's slick. They really know what they're doing. Instrumentally, it was fantastic. Some great soloing. I would say that the favourites of standouts. I mean, it was all damn good. Standouts would be I Don't Care, Sweating Bullets, Skin of My Teeth. Hangar 18 was possibly one of my favourites of the night. I really enjoyed this version of it. But they're all there, Angry Again, and finishing it with Peace Cells, Symphony of Destruction, and Holy Wars, Punishment Due. A really powerful ending to the set, 18 tracks on the night. It wasn't a bad one amongst them. Some really standout moments. Lots of people have filmed it. You'll see clips out there. So what can I say? It was just a powerful lineup. 3 legendary bands. Fantastic evening of metal for those like me who are into that stuff. Thrash is alive and well. Nice to see the mosh pit having fun. Don't think I'll be going down there in a hurry myself, but there were some lads having some fun and lasses having some fun down there. So all in all, great night. As I say, I can't praise these bands enough for putting this 3-band lineup on this Canadian tour and really doing an extremely good show. Well put together and produced, but a lot of thrilling music and a lot of loud, powerful stuff, which is what we want. So kudos to them. Great night out, despite the frickin' freezing cold to get back to the car after. If I get the chance to go to more, I'll go. So love to see Exodus, particularly on a headliner. So because they really just killed it in their short set. So great. Well, thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. As I say, I did post a few little shorts of each band, so check those out. And if you get the chance to go and see any of these guys, go see them while you still can, which is important. So till next time, stay well, everybody. Thanks for watching. Click the like, subscribe, leave a comment, all that stuff they tell us to do. I don't know, just whatever, the YouTube thing and the Rumble thing. So thanks very much. Stay well. Keep on rocking, everybody.